So good morning to you all. Hope you watched the fundraising video. So now we're going to talk about basically the grant writing that grant. Let's start by defining what's a grant. This is one of the ways government funds ideas or projects to provide public services and stimulate the economy. Or a grant can be is a financial donation given to an organization, business, or a person which is not repaid. So a grant is given to you, but you don't pay it back. Or this is sum of money awarded to an organization in anticipation of it being applied for an agreed purpose. So basically, if a grant it's given to you by organization or any foundation, or government, and should be applied for that specific purpose that you've applied it for. So basically, we shall talk about the keys to winning. Grants, and also building that professional network with those who are giving the grants. So basically, if you talk about what you should do before you submit your grant, pre-grant submission, you should know what are the problems and what are the issues. So basically, you should know the real issue that you are submitting for the grant. And then you should know, if at all I'm writing this grant about AIDS, then who is funding? Second, who is funding? So you can't write a funder who's funding something else, environment issues, then you write about AIDS. And then 3, it should be realistic. Should be realistic. You should know the deadline of that grant application. You should know the team that you're going to use. Then the deliveries. What are your outputs? And what are your outcomes? Because outputs are in a short time period. Then the outcomes, the long time period. Then also, if at all you are going to apply for a grant, you should make sure that your website and social media look professional and updated. So basically, those who are applying for grants, if at all your name is to surface anywhere, they may like to look at your social media. Some of you are posting TikTok challenges, but you're asking for grants. They don't connect. And then most cases, when you use the LinkedIn, there's a way you have to profile your LinkedIn account, whereby it shows the work you do, your profession, your interests, maybe your key areas of expertise, your competences, maybe some of the recent projects you have worked on. So before submitting that grant, you should know what are the problems and the issues. 2, who is funding. 3, should be realistic, know the deadline, know the expertise deliveries. Then you should make sure your website and social media, even if it's Twitter, they look professional and they're updated. Now, where are these granting opportunities? Research governments can give you these grants. We have the non-profitable organization, the foundations. You can use also your network to get these grants. So you people who are writing for these grants, most cases we have what we call the project officers, who are at these institutions where you are going to seek the grants. Most cases, these are your friends. Some of you fear them, and you should not be afraid to contact these people. First of all, before submitting your grant, you contact them and get to know what's happening there. Get to interact with them to know if at all my project is it in line with what they are funding. And then you should always not abuse the relationship. If at all you know this is providing grant to this kind of projects and you're in line with those projects or in line in that field, shouldn't abuse the relationship. You should be in harmony with those funders. And then it is okay to contact them after you have submitted your grant. Most cases it's always to give feedback. They can give you feedback that we shall announce the awards in this time frame, so that you don't keep checking on them. And then when you're communicating to them, basically you should not be you should give a time frame. Send them an email, give them a call. If they don't pick up, Banang, don't be consistent calling them again. You are abusing the relationship. If at all you decide to call them after maybe every week, after 2, have that consistency, in order to have feedback. And then if at all your award, okay, you have not been awarded that grant, talk to them, ask feedback that where did my proposal, my grant proposal, where did I go wrong? How can I better it up? So basically it's crucial. So these project officers or project managers where you're going to seek that grant, they're always your friends. Ask for feedback. Even before submitting, you can talk to them so that you are given insight of what the do's and don'ts. And then after submitting, you can always check on them to build that relationship. But then you should not be on their neck. Now, these are some of the things you should look at when you are seeking these grants. One, you should pay close attention to these things. One, the eligibility. Look at, because most cases they say these are eligible. All Ugandans, people under this age, people in this field, having this, So you should always look at the eligibility before you submit your grant, because sometimes your grant might be good, but then you are not the person they are looking for. Two, ask yourself, is the funder looking to fund new projects, or will the funder consider the continuation of ongoing projects or recent awarded projects, concluded projects? So look at the funder. Is he funding new projects? One, is he continuing with those ongoing projects? 3, all those concluded projects. So it will help you know that where I'm putting my grant proposal is the right place. So you may find out that he's funding new projects when your project is ongoing, or he's funding ongoing projects. You can pick up the projects that are running and then you present them. Remember that you have to present the success where you are. All those that have ended, you might end a project, but then you love to because basically you won't finish all the problems in the community and the society. So that's crucial. Then 3, you should look at the deadline. You have seen a grant announcement, a grant call. Look at the deadline so that you work on in time, so that you don't miss out the deadline. Then you should look at the funding. Is there a floor ceiling of the funding? How many proposals do they want to fund? So when you look at this funding, the funding, most cases there's a ceiling. You may need a funding of 100 million when the ceiling is at 50 million. So sometimes if you submit that grant, that proposal, you may not be selected. So you should look at the funding ceiling, the funding floor. What's the maximum funding they're having? Then cost share. When you look at that funding, the grant, is there a cost share, or are they going to fund everything? Because some grants may need you to first present cost share, that they'll be finding 70%, then you have to bring 30%. So basically you should be realistic and read the what they need. Pay attention that is there a need of cost sharing or not? Then 3, partners. Some funding may require partners. Do they require the partners? Okay, which kind of partners are they required? So you can maybe having a project, then you realize that this funding requires partners. So you should look at the partners and know the roles of each partner, and you should be selective. What value do they add to me? Then the last one, the supporting documents you have to provide. Some of you reach the deadline and then realize that they want the income statement, they need the financial statement, they need the registration of maybe organization, your project, they need the academic documents of the team that you're having. So you should look at the supporting documents when you look at that funding, okay, the funder, such that you may write your grant proposal really well, at the last moment you realize that you don't have this document. They have asked you for the academic qualifications of the team. That's you for the registration of the project. That's you for the team number. That's you for the financial statement of the project. Yeah, you're undertaking. So it's better that you look for the supporting documents in time so that you don't miss out the deadline. Now let's talk about the proposal, the grant proposal. What should be entailed? One, you should first ask yourself, what makes my proposal attractive to the funder? Put what is needed. Remember that criteria that I've talked about, yeah? The eligibility, are they looking for funding, the deadline, the funding, like how you are going to lay out that project proposal. Yeah, the grant proposal is really crucial. So it should be attractive. Two, identify the problem, but focus on the solution. When you're writing this proposal, identify the problem, but focus on the solution. Some of you are going to write a lot on the problem. No, you should write a lot on the solution, because that's how you're going to convince this person who's going to give you the grant, the funding, that yes, I have the solution. When you give me the money, I'm the solution. Then, 3, always tell your story. Tell your story. Let it be narrative that the funder understands your story. What's the background of these 3 children on the roads? Don't come out of the blue and write this, this, and that. Then another, make sure your proposal meets all the funder's objectives and goals. You should read about the funder. This one who's providing the grant. What are his vision? What is the goal, the objectives? Are they in line with my project goals and objectives? There you can convince the funder. Then what is the funder's review criteria? Sometimes these funders, they can give you on their website that this will be the criteria for the selection of funding. This and this and this, this and this and this. So even when you're writing your proposal, look at their criteria. Do I pass? Am I failing? Yeah. Then another, can you successfully implement the project in the event that the award is given? Can you successfully implement the project in the hour that is given? It's not just verbal. What you write is maybe the scope. Is it realistic? Then the team you're having, are they really professional to achieve this? Yeah. And the type of the money that you're going to, the resources that you're having at hand. So basically, this is crucial. If I told you, you may be funded. Then then another, how can the project be sustained after the end of the project? Some of you, when you are seeking for this funding or the grant, you don't show that this project is sustainable. Some of you want to have this money, and when the funding is done, the project stops. So you should put somewhere that in the event that the funding has stopped, this is how we'll generate revenue so that we continue with our project. Then you should proofread your project proposal. You should remove errors and some that are irrelevant. And then last, always have a qualified colleague to review the technical merit. After writing that grant proposal, have a friend who's technical enough to read through. Have other eyes to read through your project. They might say something that is not. If at all your friend is not even getting the concept of that proposal, then how will the funder get to know that? Should know that. Now, second, then another, I'm going to talk about the project budget. One, I've said you should know the ceiling. When you're writing the budget, you should know the ceiling of the funder. Then 2, is there cost sharing? You should put it in the budget that, okay, if I get this money, then this will be my budget. This is how I finance the budget, the finance costing. Then you should make sure that you comply with all the budget requirements in the funders criteria, budget requirements. If they say that 20% of the budget should go on the maybe allowances, 80% should be on funding, you should put that in the budget. If at all the funder says that all the money should be on the activities, not on the salaries and what, put it there. It should be in the budget. You get the point? Some of you may break down the budget and around 50% is on your salaries, your fuel and the like, and then you put 50% on the activities. No, you should read the criteria of that budgeting. How does my funder want me to budget for this funding? So if he says that only 30% will go on your salaries, on your allowances, then 70%, follow that when you're budgeting, when you're putting that in your proposal. Another, your budget should be realistic. Yeah, you can't cost things that are really less, then you just boom make a unrealistic budget. There you won't win the proposal. Then provide as much details as possible. When it comes to budgeting, you provide as much detail as possible. Remember, this is the money. You're going to break down the money, so you provide as much detail as possible. Then sometimes you can say based on the experience in your justification. So basically, you can, when you are quoting the numbers, you can give the site that, oh, on Jumia or on this market, this is how fuel is. Yeah, Total Energies, this is how fuel is. And if at all that you are going to buy a car, according to this Automotors something, this is the price, and you bring the website or something like that. That way you may be believed. So some words of encouragement, or some words you should take home is that reality is that there is a good chance that your proposal won't be funded. Some of you don't write this grant and be like, it's so good I'll be funded. No, have that in mind, that even there's a good chance that your proposal won't be funded. Two, there will always be a strong competition, and sometimes things that are out of control. You should be knowing this. When you're applying for these grants, there is a lot of competition, and sometimes things that are out of control happen. There might be politics. So when you're submitting your grant proposal, you should know that there's a lot of competition. Then second, politics might happen. You might have a good proposal and politics happens. So go and play that politics. Even if they tell you do this, you understand better, you as Ugandans. Also, even the Europeans do play that politics in order to get this grant. Yeah, do that politics. Then unfortunately, great proposal will sometimes be rejected, not funded. And then those proposals that are not, they be funded. So you should have that in mind. Third, it's like the fourth, learn from your mistakes. Remember, I told you you should always contact the project officers. Where did I go wrong? You should learn from your mistakes. Then 5, don't get hung up on success rates, as it is easier to be discouraged. So if I told you keep on writing proposals and they are not funded, so don't hang on success rates. Just keep on, and lastly, don't give up. Don't give up, because in seeking for grants, it's really hectic. You're right, you're not giving. You're right, you're not giving. So never give up. So some of the pointers for building variable profession network is that like be proactive. Yeah, be proactive. You should be always engaging those funders. Then 2, be persistent. Yeah, in what you do. Then be professional when you're communicating to them, when you're meeting them. Then be patient, because it's not that getting this funding will be easy. Now, we have the components of of a grant proposal, good grant proposal. One, you should have the title. One, write the title. Two, the project or program overview. From the title, the title should specify, and in the title, it should show. Let me say, I can give an example in the title: "Empowering of a Girl Child in Kampala." Yeah, so it should be brief and should show the gist. Then two, the project or plan or overview. Talk about that, the plan overview. Like, okay, this our foundation is this and this and this and this, which aims at reducing, if at all say empowering girl child, aims at empowering the girl children through scaling, agriculture, savings, this and this and this, and here I'm writing at this. Yeah, you get the point, eh? An overview. Then this seeks to have a grant to manage this. Then our goal is this. You get the point. Then three, the background information or statement of the problem. What is the problem? There is high rate of pregnancy or in the adolescence. That is a problem. Explain it. Which leads to maybe school dropouts, HIV. Yeah, you get the point, eh? So, statement of the problem is next. Explain that. Then four, the goals and response and objectives. What is the goal? What is your main objective? Then specific objectives. Then five, the methodology. What are you going to do in order to achieve the overall goal and the specific objectives? Then six, outputs and outcomes. What are the outputs? Yeah, outputs. These are short term. Then outcomes are bigger term. If I told about empowering, what are the outputs? Outputs may be skilling this girl child with tailoring skills. Then what are the outcomes? Improvement of the standards of living of this girl child. Increase in the income of the homestead. Those are outcomes. They are long term. Then from the outcomes, you should talk about the target audience or population. Empowering of the girl child. Which girl child? What's your target? This age to this age in Katanga. Yeah, so it should be specific. Then evaluation. How will you evaluate? You should put in the evaluation plan, monitoring evaluation plan. How will you evaluate your success? What are the indicators of success? How will you verify them? Then who will do this in this time frame? Get the point, eh? Then last, the budgeting. You should show your budgeting. Yeah, how you're going to break down these activities. This is the budget, the costing, and it should be realistic. I've already talked about the budgeting. You should follow the criteria of the budgeting where these people, the funders, have really done. So now we have different steps that you should carry out. Yeah. When you are in this process of writing the grants and the like, one, you should do grant research. Look on the website or elsewhere and look grant research. Who is funding who? What are they funding? What are the objectives? What are their goals? Then two, you should visit those prospective grants. You have done the research, then you look, now where do I fall? Then you visit, then you see their website, those funders, what do they need? What should I be with? What are they funding and the like? Then three, you should build a team or consortium, because some grants may need to build a team. So meanwhile, even before writing, you should look for whom should I put on the team to achieve this, who and who and who. Then what you do, you draft your proposal, then last you submit your proposal. So what does grant writing require? One, grant writing require good creative writing. So good creative writing, should be good at writing. You should be good at convincing. Then second, critical thinking is required in grant writing. Third, enormous resilience. Yeah, resilience, because you may not get right the grant in a short period of time. Then team efforts. You should be know the team that really should be supportive. Then you should know that grant writing is a journey and it's not a destination. You keep on writing, and you may not win, but then don't lose hope. Then when after writing your grant, we have those who review those grant proposals. What do they really look at? Attention is always paid to the nature of the problem. So when you're writing a proposal, know that the reviewers look at the nature of the problem. 2, they look at the approach of that problem, the solution. So these who are going to review those who have brought in their proposal, they look at the nature of the problem, 1. 2, look at the approach of the problem. Because some of you are providing solutions that are not realistic. They want to remove the problem. Then the third, the experience of the program or the project staff or organization. So those 3 are crucial when you're writing your grant proposal. The reviewers will look at the nature of the problem. 2, the solution or the approach to the problem. Then 3, the experience or the expertise of the people your team, the staff you have put to your team. So when you are submitting a proposal, put that in mind. So this is the take-home message as we end this discussion. 1, build staff skills and institutional capacity to win grants. So before even you are submitting, make sure that your staff have skills and have the capacity. Remember, I've told you when the reviewers, they look at the experience and the expertise of your staff. Another, meaningful cooperative relationships. You should cooperate with people who are meaningful in your field. Yeah, in your field, in your target audience, the people, the stakeholders you should cooperate with. Then you should read the call for proposals, then read it again, then read it again. Your proposal must fit the format and the directions in the call for proposals to be successful. You should read your proposal again. You should read the call for proposal, read it again and again, so that to grasp what they need. Yeah, because your proposal must fit the format and the direction in the call for your proposal to be successful. Some you just read once, no, read it again and again. Then you should be consistent and focused with the ideas throughout your proposal. Be consistent the ideas about the proposal. You don't write about adolescent girls, then in the middle you write about pregnant women. No. Be consistent. If you decided to write about pregnant of adolescents, empowering adolescent girls, be consistent till the end. We should write, edit, repeat. Even if you have finished that proposal, read it through again. Write, edit, look at the code, so that you remove the mistakes. Then last, you should map the deadlines and don't forget to submit your proposal. Some of you may write a lot, then you go past the deadline. Your proposal will be rejected. Sometimes you are submitting via online. The portal will be closed, or you are doing hand delivery. So you should always know the deadline and you should submit your proposal. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you have had insights about grants and grant writing. Hope you be successful in your next grant writing. I wish you luck, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.